Hello everyone, welcome to Eng Teach. Today we are going to learn about articles. Actually, articles are confusing. There are many rules in articles. I'm going to help you with the basic rules so that you will know how to use these articles in your sentences. Articles. A and the are called articles. There are two types of articles. One, indefinite articles. A and an. Two, definite article. The. Use of indefinite articles a and an. A and an do not refer to any particular person or thing. For example, I saw a horse and an elephant. A horse means one horse, an elephant means one elephant. Rule number 1. A or an is used before a countable singular noun. A book, a pen, a cat, these are singular. Books, pens, cat, these are plurals. Water, milk, these are uncountable nouns. Rule number 2. A is used before a word beginning with consonant sound. For example, a horse, a kite, a house. Rule number 3. An is used before a word beginning with the vowel sounds. Vowel sounds is produced by vowel letters A, E, I, O, U. For example, an idea, an urgent work, an umbrella, an actor. But A is used before a word beginning with the vowel letters that is pronounced as a consonant sound. For example, a European, a union, a one-way street, a uniform. Rule number 4. Word beginning with silent H take an before them. For example, an honest man, an hour, an year, an honorable person. Rule number 5. A or an is used before the names of professions, post, nationality, and religion. For example, she is a dancer, he is an engineer, he is an Indian, she is a Muslim, he works as a waiter. Rule number 6. Or an is used with certain expressions of quantity. For example, a lot of, a dozen of, a glass of, a bit. Rule number 7. Or an is used with abbreviations. Since abbreviations like MA, MP, LLB, etc. begin with a vowel sound M is pronounced as M and L is pronounced as L. So use an before them. For example, an MA, an LLB. But we should use a before abbreviations that begin with consonant sound. For example, a BBC reporter, a PhD. Rule number 8. Or an is used before a verb used as noun. For example, he goes for a walk every morning. She is having a bath. Rule number 9. Or an is used to express price, speed and ratio. For example, it costs rupees 50 a kilo. We go to library once a day. Rule number 10. Or an is used before singular countable nouns in exclamations. For example, what a beautiful flowers, what a good news, what an idea. Now, the definite article the. The is used number 1 before superlative adjectives. For example, the tallest, the longest, the cheapest. Mount Everest is the highest peak of the world. Number 2, the is used before the repeated or mentioned second time nouns. For example, I saw a man and a dog. The man was tall and the dog was black. Ram bought a radio. The radio was very good. Rule number 3. The is used before a noun made definite by the additions of a phrase or clause. For example, the water in this bottle is very cold. Here, water is made definite by adding the phrase in this bottle. So it takes the. The man with grey hair is my uncle. The book on the table is mine. The house Where I live is red. Rule number 4. The is used before ordinal numbers. For example, the first, the second, the third, the fourth. He is the first boy of our class. The is used before the parts of a day. For example, the morning, the evening, the afternoon. She usually gets up early in the morning. Rule number 6. The is used before unique objects. For example, the sun, the moon, the earth, the world. These are the unique objects. So we should use the before them. Rule number 7. The is used before the name of directions, poles, hemispheres, religious books, musical instruments, and scientific discoveries. For example, the east, the west, these are the directions. The southern hemispheres, the north pole, the Ramayana, the Bible, the Quran, these are religious book. The guitar, the flute, the violin, the piano, these are musical instruments. So we should use the before them. The phone, the radio, these are scientific discoveries, so we should use the before them. Rule number 8. The is used before the names of rivers, seas, oceans, groups of island, deserts, mountain range, etc. For example, the Mahakali River, the Kosi River, the Red Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the British Island, the Sahara Desert, the Gobi Desert, the Himalayas, the Alps. Rule number 9. The is used before plural names of countries. For example, the UK, the USA, the USSR, the Netherlands, the Philippines, the Maldives. Rule number 10. The is used before the name of newspaper, political parties, famous buildings and museum. For example, the Indian Times, the Kantipur, the Nepali Congress, the Taj Mahal, the Hanuman Dhoka Darbar, the Singh Darbar, the National Museum. Rule number 11. The is used before the name of religious communities. For example, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Christian, the Muslims. Rule number 12. The is used before family names and caste. For example, the Brahmins are clever, the Kshetris are brave, the Mughals are helpful. Rule number 13. The is used before nationalities. For example, the Americans are tall and wide, the Japanese are hardworking, the Nepalese are brave. Rule number 14. The is used before a singular noun or adjectives when the noun is understood to represent a class of things, animals, or persons. For example, the cow is a useful animal. Here, this cow represents the whole cow. The dog is faithful animal. The poor are helpless. Here, the poor adjectives it represents whole poor persons. The tigers live in the forest. Rule number 15. The is used before a noun which by region or locality can represent only one particular thing. For example, my mother is in the kitchen. This kitchen means the kitchen of my house. She is in the garden of my house. Did you find the pen? The pen you are looking for. Open the door of this room. Rule number 16. The is used before century and decade. For example, the 18th century, the 30s, the 60s. Rule number 17. The is used before the names of ships and aeroplanes. For example, the Buddha year, the Indian Airlines, the Titanic. Rule number 18. The is used before two comparative degrees. For example, the more you practice, the more you learn. The more you eat, the fatter you become. Rule number 19. It is last rule. The is used before a school, market, campus, hospital, temple when they are used for their secondary purpose. For example, we went to the school for playing. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, please don't forget to like, share, and comment. Thank you.